Hi guys, I received a message from, well, it doesn't actually have an email here. Some guys are not putting their YouTube usernames into my website, and sometimes when I want to reply to you, you haven't put your YouTube username, so I can't get back to you on some things, but can't be helped. Anyway, it says, Dear Duncan, how to get a local D-disk? Please help Andrew. That's a very vague question, because there are quite a few ways that you can get a local D-disk. Now, what I'll be doing is showing how to resize your hard disk, and with the free space you have, make a separate disk out of it, so you can store files, folders, anything like that, just making a separate drive, but it will use your own drive, if you know what I mean. So I'll be showing you partitioning and resizing partitions. Now I've got a virtual machine, it's got XP on it, and it's using local disk C, and it's got 10 gigabytes, and it's got 8 gigabytes free on it because it's just a clean install, and you can see that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to resize this to about 7 gigabytes, and I'm going to make a drive out of the free space. And what you've said here, it says how to get a local D disk. Now if you're like you can see here, I've got a CD drive that's drive D, so if I was to make a disk, it'll make it to E. You can I think you can swap the drive letters around, but that may cause problems, so I'd keep it as it is. So anyway, I'm going to basically resize C. Now there are plenty of tools out there. There's quite a few that aren't actually free. I know there's Resize Partition Manager, that's free, and things like that. But I'm actually going to go for something called PartMagic. Now I've just downloaded the ISO, which is it's a CD image. So you guys will want to burn this to disk and put it into your drive, but as this is a virtual machine, this is a virtual CD, so I've virtually inserted the CD into the machine. So all I need to do is go to, double click my CD here, or right click here, CD DVD ROM image, and PartMagic, select it, and so it's loaded it into the, see you've got it, it's now loaded it into the CD drive, so I can restart the computer and show you guys what's going on without having to restart mine. So I'm just going to restart the computer. Now PartMagic is a distribution of Linux, and basically what it has is it's got I think it's got something called VizPart, which is it's a very good, I'm going to use the default memory settings here. So it's a very good partitioning tool. Now you may want to defragment your hard drive beforehand. I didn't show you that. You have to right click on your drive and select properties, and then go to tools and then defrag, because you may find that some of your files are on the part that you're trying to resize, like towards the end of the disk. So it's best to make sure you can defrag. Now some of the system files won't be able to be moved, so it's best to be careful when you're using this PartMagic or any partitioning tool, because there are chances that you can ruin your system, so you just got to make sure you got everything backed up in case anything happens. So this is PartMagic. It's now loading up the main thing, which is a Linux distribution. And what will happen is it will show a Linux-like desktop, and I'll just show you VizPart. Now obviously I struggled in VMware to show it when it was resizing with Ubuntu, and I'm struggling with VirtualBox. It'll come up with an error, but you can kind of see how it works. I'll just explain it, I'll show it to you. So I'm hoping the screen recorder will follow me. I'm clicking, no, it hasn't followed me, has it? Down here, I'm clicking VizParted, that icon there, and you can see it's scanning for all devices, and it will show me my hard drive, because I only have one. So eventually, it does take some time, because this is all virtualized, this virtual hard disk, so it's not like a proper one, so I'm actually going to error out when I try to do this. But you'll see I've got /dev/HDA1 9.99 gig, and what I want to do is actually resize that to about 7, didn't I say? I think it's 7. So I wish the screen recorder would follow me, so I'm going to try and I'm going to leave it over here, see if it will follow. And I hope you can see this. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to select my drive over here, where it says used, unused, and I'm just going to right click and say resize, and now it's got like a slider, and you can then slide it as far down as you want, and it will change the free space, the new size, and the following. You can actually do it by the amounts as well, so I'm going to try and resize it to 7. Now you can see it says new size is going to be 7 gigabytes, roundabout, free space left, and free space proceeding. So just going to click resize. Now it doesn't do it straight away. What it does is it puts it as if you were about to do it, and all you then do is apply, and then it will do its stuff. So you'll notice it now says unallocated. Now that means it's not anything. It just means that there's nothing there. It's not being used by anyone. So all I'm going to do is I'm actually going to right click this free space, hoping you can see that. Just right click the free space and select new. And it says create new partition, free space proceeding, create as primary partition, file system ext2. Now ext2 is the Linux file system, so I'm actually going to change that to NTFS. And I'm really sorry about this screen recorder, guys, it's not following me because it's in a virtual machine. So then I'm just going to say add, and then all it's going to do is format this to be NTFS, which is the Windows XP and Windows Vista file system most of the time. Some leave it as FAT, but this is NTFS. So you can see that it's pretty much ready to go. Now mine's going to error out, and I'm going to have to pause this because it takes a while and then it errors out, but I'll show you the error anyway. But what it does, it will actually, because I'm using the virtual hard disk, it will resize this fine, and it will make this area unallocated, and it will try and make a drive, but it can't make it NTFS for some reason. So I'll just show you it anyway, because it does eventually work. So I'm just going to click apply here, and you can see it's applying pending operations. It's going to check the file system for errors, and if possible fix them, and then it's going to shrink it, and then it's going to add my new one. So I'm going to unpause this video when this is errored out. So I'll see you in a sec. Hi guys, well it turns out it didn't error out. It says all operations were successfully completed, which is great. So I'm going to close this, it scans for all the devices again, and it's done. So now I'm just going to restart my machine. I'm going to go machine and then reset it. So we're now restarting the computer to go into Windows XP, hopefully. There we go. And I should have now a blank drive. I'm going to skip this file checking. And yeah, that's pretty much how you do it. There are a lot of tools about, but I'm just showing you PartMagic. Now in Vista, I think you can shrink or resize your partition on the fly using there. Disk management, I think you go to start control panel, excuse me, or something like that, and administrative tools, and then computer management, and then disk management or something like that, and then you can actually resize them from here. And you'll notice I now have an E drive 3.16 and a C drive 6.84. So yeah, that's about it. It's finished installing new devices, so it's finished installing my new drive. I'm not going to restart. Click my computer, and you can see I now have a C drive, which is 7 gig, and I now have an E drive, which is 3 gig, and now that's now usable to put stuff in. Now you can redirect things like my documents, so if you were to right click and go properties, you'll notice it says a target. You can actually change that to be drive E or something, and then you can save all your documents on an external drive. So that might be easier. But anyway, this is how to resize your main disk and make another one, but be aware that this you can't do this in Windows XP actually inside it, and there is the risk of screwing your system completely by doing this, but chances are you won't. But it's the fact of system files that can't be defragmented might be in that free space, so be careful when you're doing this and make sure you've got everything backed up. But other than that, that's pretty much it. So another way to do this, I think, is to make a RAM disk, but that's a totally different video. I might explain that in a future video. So thanks for watching my video. Please comment, rate, subscribe if you like my videos, and thanks again.